I just got stuck in this weird liminal state of executive dysfunction, aka ADHD paralysis. What's that? It's basically where my brain physically doesn't let me initiate a task or let me do anything. What caused it? Oh, I made the mistake of sitting down. I think that's just called being lazy. No, I wish it was lazy, but ADHD paralysis is like lazy's evil twin brother. It looks like I'm being lazy, but my brain is currently screaming at me 1,000 miles per hour telling me I should be doing things, but I can't.
Okay, here's a quick tip for all of you neurodivergent people in neurodivergent friend groups, especially if you have ADHD. So a lot of people who are neurodivergent can't make decisions, either because they're one, people pleasers and they want to do whatever the other person wants, or two, they genuinely do not care. Now I know you are either like this or you know someone like this. And whenever you try and ask them to make a decision, it's impossible. You ask them where they want to eat and they give you this 1,000-mile stare just like, I don't care. Having friends like that, it's often hard to make decisions with them because you genuinely want to make sure they're getting what they want, but you don't know what they want. So here is a great way to solve this. Say you're looking for a place to eat and you ask them and they say, I don't care, whatever you want. Here's what you do. You give them 3 options. You pick 3 of your favorites of whatever and you give them 3 and tell them to get rid of 1. Hey, we're gonna order some food. What do you want? Oh, I don't really care. You guys choose. Instead of just being like, no, choose, this is what you do. Okay, well, we were trying to decide between McDonald's, Chipotle, and Taco Bell. So which one do you not like? So rather than giving them an infinite amount of options, narrow it down for them. They can decide then. Oh, the last time I had Chipotle, I shit myself in bed. So let's not get that. Okay, so Taco Bell's probably also not a good idea. We'll get McDonald's. Trust me, this will solve 90% of all problems that come up this way. So do this!
That kid's the best in the state. No one can beat him. I have to. Hey, just a reminder on the homework, you only have to do the even number questions. But yeah, because you said we shouldn't do the odd number questions, there was a burning fire inside of me that told me I have to do the odd number questions. Hey, you're delusional if you think this TikTok thing will go anywhere. Yeah, you're probably right. Dude, it's only been like 3 months since we last talked. That's just what happens when someone tells me I can't do something. Since you have ADHD, do you want me to teach the lessons a little bit slower for you? No. In fact, make it like 3 times faster. But wouldn't going slower help you comprehend it better? Oh no, I got bees in my head that need constant stimulation, so if you slow it down, I'm just gonna zone out even more. So you process information better the faster it comes at you. Oh yeah, sometimes I'll even put YouTube videos at 1.5 speed just to keep me engaged. Okay, perfect. Now for exams, we were thinking of putting you in a silent room alone. Oh no. Just let me stand up during a test and I'll be good. You look sad today. I'm actually sad every day. I just didn't have the energy to hide it today. What are you thinking about? I'm imagining fake scenarios and hurting my own feelings. Okay, and what do we do when we feel sad? Apologize continuously to every single person I have a conversation with. No. Sorry. How are you so funny? Because I don't know how to deal with serious emotions without turning them into a joke. I'm not depressed, it's just in my head. I'm overreacting. Dude, I'm pretty sure you just gaslighted yourself. Dude, when I was at the doctor, I scored some ADHD meds. Scored? Yeah, for my ADHD. So you were diagnosed with ADHD and you scored medicine? Yeah. You don't think it's at all possible that you could actually have ADHD? Nah. Dude, you zone out and daydream in every single class. Okay, but doesn't everyone do it? Nope, I don't. Okay, true. And on Saturday, you literally hyper-focused on Super Smash Bros. The entire day without eating, sleeping, or showering. No, I just got really into it. And didn't you literally tell me last week that your biggest problem in life is the fact that you're a perfectionist without the capability of motivating yourself to achieve said perfection? So you're constantly stuck in this state of paralyzing anxiety and self-doubt, all the while feeling worse about it every passing minute? What's up? Sorry, say that again? I completely zoned out. Dude, when I was at the doctor...
This is what to expect if you're going to date someone with ADHD. And look, don't be mad at me. I'm just the messenger. I'm just saying what all of us ADHD people are thinking whenever you decide to date us. And just a fair warning, these symptoms are not scaled to size. And that is because there's 3 different types of ADHD. You have inattentive, you have hyperactivity, and you have combined. But enough talking, here's what to expect. Number 1, forgetfulness. It doesn't matter how important or unimportant something is. It is very likely your ADHD partner is going to forget. Whether it's anniversaries, birthdays, deaths, even as small as remembering to throw the clothes from the washer to the dryer. It doesn't matter how many times you tell them, they will still likely forget. And I would like to vouch for them on this and say that this is not intentional. This is something you have to learn to become understanding with because there is no helping it a lot of the time. It doesn't matter how many reminders they put on their phone. It doesn't matter how many times you tell them. They will still forget stuff that will piss you off because it's like, why don't you just remember? It's because we can't. Number 2, this one kind of goes with forgetfulness, but forgetting where you put everything. I have yet to meet one person who has ADHD who doesn't experience this. You will have to remind them where they put everything, their car keys, their phone, their wallet, their brain. Even important stuff. Like I remember I lost $3,000 in one of my drawers one time and I didn't remember where I put it. Mom did remember where I put it, so, you know. But yeah, this is one of those things you're gonna have to accept. And there's no point to even like trying to fix it. Like, oh, I'll just put a bowl in the middle of the room that you could put your keys in every day. Good try, Tiffany, but we're still gonna forget. And those keys are gonna end up under the bed or somewhere. Number 3, overthinking and racing thoughts. This may just be me personally, but I always feel like I have like 4 conversations going in my head at all times. And a lot of these thoughts are usually just intrusive thoughts that are just like, why am I even thinking about it? And a lot of the times they're also negative for no reason. I don't know why. But because of this, we also have a hard time with listening to people sometimes. You may be telling us something, but we're focused on something else, so we can't really hear what you're saying. It's like we hear bits and pieces of it, but if you asked us to recite it back to you, we wouldn't know what to do. And the racing thoughts don't stop. Even when I was on my ADHD medication, the racing thoughts never stopped. It maybe slowed them down a little bit so I could focus on something, but all in all, they were always still there. So if you have to repeat something over and over again to your ADHD partner, just be patient. I promise you, we're not intentionally ignoring you. And number 4, usually be prepared to plan most of the events that you're gonna go do. Planning is not an ADHD person's strong point at all. I've learned to take more initiative and get better with it, but I still struggle sometimes. If you wanna help your ADHD partner with this, plan something, an event or something, and let them be a part of it. Don't belittle them for not knowing how to plan properly like you might know how to. Literally walk them through it. Trust me, it means way more to the person. And this is just an extra one, is procrastination. And as y'all know, this one's my best friend. Expect anything that we have to do to be done at the last minute. And it's not because we didn't want to do it. We will actually stop everything we're doing in a day to do something that we need to do, and then not even do it. We're special like that. Bye.
Autistic urge to info dump anytime you find a safe person. Like, if I like you, we're going to play show and tell 1,000 times a day. Please take it as a compliment that I haven't asked you how your day is, but I am informing you about the fact that dinosaurs used to eat rocks. Oh, insects came up casually in conversations? Sorry, you're gonna have to hear a 45-minute long speech about the impact they had on my life personally. And if I ask you every single item you bought on your grocery shopping trip, it's only because I like to communicate through data exchange. And like, sorry, but if you're not interested in every single nickname I call my cat, then like, why are we even friends?
I don't understand how taking a shower can be that difficult to do. So in your brain, what are the steps that you need to do to just take a shower? I don't know, you walk in the bathroom, take your clothes off, take a shower, put your clothes back on. So like 3 steps. When I think of the steps required to take a shower, I need to mentally prepare myself to walk into the bathroom. It's going to be cold, so I need to understand that I'm going to take my clothes off, I'm going to be cold, I then have to go and get in the warm shower. I don't like being wet. But then once I'm in the shower, I like being wet, I've gotten to a comfortable temperature, then I have to mentally prepare myself to do all the steps and tasks that are in the shower, washing my hair, shaving myself, whatever I have to do. Then I'm comfortable, I'm warm. I don't want to then do the transition of getting out of the shower and getting cold again, having to dry myself, putting my clothes on, all that time in between from drying yourself, putting your clothes on and being not wet again. That's like 17 steps. That's why.
I don't think society will ever understand how difficult it is being late diagnosed with ADHD. We spend our whole lives wondering what the hell is wrong with us. Why can everyone do all of these simple things, yet for some reason I can't? And if I end up doing these things, I have to mentally and physically drain myself. You try and tell people that you didn't mean to forget. You genuinely misunderstood what they said. You really did try your best to be on time. You were listening, but for some reason it just wasn't going in. Always having to defend ourselves because everyone around us just critiques us because we don't fit into the norm. And because we don't fit into the norm, everyone has got something to say. You're lazy, you're careless, you're messy, you're reckless. You just don't want to listen. You need to fix up. You're an adult now. You can choose to focus if you really wanted to. You just don't care enough. Over time, we get labelled with so many of these negative traits that we slowly just start believing them. I guarantee you, everyone who has been late diagnosed with ADHD has got severe self-esteem issues. And if you don't, you're in denial. Some of the positives of having ADHD just don't fit into the criteria of what is deemed as worthy. We could be the most creative thinker and come up with such incredible solutions, but that will never matter if we can't submit the report on time. We are so curious and really want to try every single hobby out there. But it doesn't matter that you're curious. People will see that as inconsistent, unreliable, careless. It doesn't matter if you've got all this energy and you could dedicate that to something that you've got a special interest in and really achieve something. To society, you're too much. You need to slow down. You need to relax. You need to be quiet. The traits which society view as strengths are not traits which people with ADHD have. And so we're constantly made to feel useless and unworthy. And then when we finally get that diagnosis, initially it feels like such a relief. It's like, finally, I knew there was something wrong with me. I knew this wasn't my fault. Like, I was trying as hard as I could, but my brain makes it physically impossible. And you feel a false sense of safety, actually, when you get this diagnosis. And you start to unmask. You start to be your true self because you realize that you don't have to pretend to be something that you're not. It should not be this hard to live your life, and you shouldn't have to live this way if you can't. But when you start to unmask and you stop doing all of these unhealthy coping mechanisms that drain you mentally and physically to keep up with everyone else, people then accuse you of playing into your symptoms. They say that getting your diagnosis has changed you, that you're living up to it, that you're using it as an excuse now. Honestly, this world is just exhausting for people with ADHD. I'm tired.
What ADHD feels like. Part 15.
Hey man, what you doing?
Hey, just planning out my day.
That's very, linear.
Of course. One thing at a time, right?
Urgent and high priority items first, allowing adequate time to set realistic expectations and ensure I can meet deadlines.
What do you do?
Yeah, let me show you. So, I sort of front load my day with all my tasks, and then it just kind of stays like that. I try to, well, I gotta do everything, so I clump it all, mentally. The key is to stave off that impending feeling of overwhelm and doom, and if I could do that, I feel like I've won the day. My man, that doesn't sound healthy. What is that? This is, it's like outside of the scope of what I'm supposed to do, but I think it'll be helpful. So you're able to be productive like this? Productive. Do everything you want to do? No. I've never felt that way in my entire life about anything. Oh, all right. See you later.
Things people with ADHD do despite knowing better. Part 23.
Nope. Stop.
What's up with your hand, dude?
Oh, it's just a blister.
Oh, that's not too bad. Don't pop it, though. Those actually protect you from bacteria getting in.
Yeah, I know. I'll be right back.
There are 5 signs that you're not lazy. You're actually dealing with something called executive dysfunction. Before we jump in, I just want to mention that executive dysfunction is a primary feature of ADHD, but executive dysfunction can go along with other things like anxiety, depression, autism, and more. Sign number 1, you actually want to do the thing that you're struggling to do. Laziness, which there's a big discussion on whether or not laziness is even a thing, but if it is, I would define it as, not caring if you get something done, not being anxious, not being stressed, just, it doesn't matter to you right now. If you're sitting there like, get up, do the thing. Oh my God, I just want to read my book. This shouldn't be this hard. What's wrong with me? That is not laziness. That's executive dysfunction. Sign number 2, you don't deal with this bullshit when you're at work. It only happens when you're at home or especially when you're alone. When other people show up, all of a sudden you're a perfect productivity machine and you can do everything that is expected of you. And you don't understand the discrepancy. Why am I such a superstar at work? And why am I such a lazy piece of shit at home? Yes, the reason is usually because there's a lot more structure at work, and a lot of times at work you have discrete tasks that you finish and then you move on from, whereas at home there's a lot less structure, and the tasks that you have to do, like dishes, are tasks that you have to do over and over and over, and that's much more daunting to people with executive dysfunction. Sign number 3 that you're dealing with executive dysfunction and not laziness is that you have trouble engaging with your hobbies as well as your chores. This isn't just something that gets in the way of things that you don't like to do. It also very much gets in the way of things you would like to be doing. Sign number 4 is there's a discrepancy between how much you dread doing the activity and how long or how hard the activity actually is. Very often, people with executive dysfunction will put something off for literally weeks, and it will take us 10 minutes when we finally do it. And we can't help but feel very silly and often stupid when that happens. Finally, sign number 5 that you're dealing with executive dysfunction is you probably experience one of 2 primary emotions around your executive dysfunction. You either feel unbelievably guilty for those around you who have to pick up your slack, or you're just super numbed out to it and just defeated, learned helplessness. You don't even try anymore because what's the fucking point? If I just described you well enough that you're a little concerned that we're secretly the same person, it's not because I'm a psychic. It's because I am a life coach who specializes in executive dysfunction. I experience a lot of it myself, and I've done a lot of work over the years to both be more productive and feel less shame when I can't be more productive. If you want to learn more about what you can do about executive dysfunction, I actually have 3 completely free trainings available at my Schmink in Schmio. So go get those. They're literally free. If you want even more support, I actually have a paid program called Neurodivergent Magic, where we focus on the practical and emotional skills that you'll need to cope with executive dysfunction long term. Again, Schmink and Schmile.
Your party approaches the river and you recognize the mysterious creature as an aboleth. What do you want to do?
We're gonna fight it.
Okay, before you roll for initiative, roll for ADHD. So you remember that instead of doing your homework last night, you went down an internet rabbit hole and learned everything that there is to know about aboleths. So you'll have advantage on your first attack.
Yes.
You see the bandits sitting around a campfire in the woods. What do you want to do?
We're gonna sneak up on the bandits and steal the artifacts.
Okay, before you roll stealth, roll for ADHD. So you're pretty sneaky, but you heard a really catchy tune before you left the tavern, and you're humming it as you're sneaking up on these bandits, so they hear you. Roll for initiative.
Dang it.
No one with ADHD has all 5.
All right, I'll play your game.
First, your planner has more than 2 months filled in.
That's a thing that people do. I have a couple things on my Outlook calendar for work. That's it.
I can never stick to one. You have good hydration, which means you drank enough water today.
All right, I got that one. I drink water all the time. It's my favorite thing to drink. I don't have a problem with that.
Third, all of your mail is opened and filed, or it's discarded. You don't have any doom piles of unopened envelopes hiding around your house.
Okay.
Good.
All right. Okay, I'm just going to accept defeat on this one.
Fourth, all of your socks are folded and matched in your drawer. You don't have a basket of random socks when you just grab 2 every day that are...
Here's my basket.
Yes! Another victory for me.
And fifth, if you haven't failed yet, you're going to fail now.
I've already failed twice, so what does it matter if I fail this one? You're not going to hurt my feelings.
You can open up your silverware drawer and grab any fork to use.
Well, that's just me.
Why'd you have to go that low?
So you want to survive school, but you have ADHD / I think a couple countries still call it ADD / you just have executive functioning issues. You're in the right place. Step number 1, stop trying to motivate yourself with a brain that can't create its own internal motivation. Instead, focus on momentum. For example, the and might as well principle. Might as well do one homework problem. Oh look, your homework's done. All or nothing, baby. Now how did I even remember I had homework? Alarms, reminders, and I don't know, post-it notes, maybe? Now look, your prioritization skills are worse than my grandmother's hip. My advice, attach a time limit to every single thing you do. Brushing your teeth, doing homework, a time limit. Not only does it help you keep track of time, but it also makes prioritizing way easier. Because if you try to prioritize in your brain, boom, ADHD paralysis. Okay, tip number whatever. Since your brain is a wild animal in constant search of stimulation, you gotta make the boring interesting. Try and swerve your research essay into talking about your current hyperfixation. Buy new colored pens. Body double. Invite your friend over. Switch location. Go to the library. I don't care. But you gotta keep it fresh. I'll probably make a part 2. Phrases that have been said to every neurodivergent 1,000 times. Whoa, slow down, you're talking way too fast, I can't keep up. And what we actually want to say back. That's ironic, because you're actually talking way too slow that I can't keep up. Whoa, alright, is there a volume down? You're practically screaming. Whoa, is there a volume up? I can't understand a single thing you're saying. Whoa, slow down, you're like a speed walker. Why are you walking so fast? Dude, I'm going my courtesy speed. Why do you all walk so slow? And lastly, a thing every neurodivergent hears is like a couple words out of a sentence, and instead of asking what for the 3rd time, we just politely smile and nod. Okay, perfect. I'll see you there. What did I just agree to? Well, son, you're probably wondering why I came into your room. Well, because... a reason. I'll be back. Son, have you started your homework? What is that? I'm making a homemade desk organizer. Oh, this is cool. Let's go down to the garage and sand it. Wait, no, you have homework. Do your homework first, but I'm gonna take this, though. Honey, did you do the thing that I told you to do? The dishes? No. I told, your brother to do that. Oh, take out the trash. Yes, but I just did that, so, never mind.
Have you ever heard someone call themselves a spoonie or say that they're sending spoons and you're like, what the fuck is that person talking about? They're talking about spoon theory. Basically, it's a way of explaining what it's like to live with chronic illness or disability. Spoons represent energy, and able-bodied, healthy people wake up with an endless supply of spoons, whereas disabled people wake up with a limited amount of spoons. Each task that you do throughout the day takes away a spoon or multiple spoons depending on its difficulty. Doing too much in one day or powering through may take spoons from the next day. This is a really good graphic that kind of helps me make my point. So let's say you wake up with 12 spoons. What are you gonna do today? You can't do everything. You have to be very, very strategic. You never know how many spoons you're gonna wake up with. It's like a guessing game every morning, because if you slept wrong, if you overdid it the day before, if you missed your medication, if you have a flare-up day, that's all gonna affect how many spoons that you have for that day. You have to plan and strategize and be super, super careful about every action that you do, whereas healthy people don't even think about it. It doesn't even cross their mind. They just live their lives. Being sick is a full-time job. It is so frustrating to live like this, and people don't understand that we live like this because they don't live like this and we don't look like we live like this. I'm sending you spoons. Have a great day.
You know it's super common for young girls and women to be misdiagnosed as neurotypical? Guess why? Because girls, as it's collectively understood, are just more socially driven than boys, meaning we're better at picking up the neurotypical rules and aping them. I mean, why are girls better at picking up on social rules? Because a lot of social rules are just body language, really. And for the longest time in human history, women have been the primary caregivers to infants who do not use their words because they don't have any to use. So with the millennia of human history behind us, we have become innately better at reading social cues, so we get missed more often. It's also really common for normal girls to have a popular neurotypical friend that you just kind of watch and copy. This is exactly how I know as many neurotypical rules as I do. So we learn to cosplay as neurotypicals quicker than the boys. The difference between your normal girls and the neurotypical girls, however, is the normal girls have no idea why they're doing these things. The neurotypical rules make no sense. Why it's socially unacceptable to not wear matching socks is forever beyond me. What difference does it make? So yet we learn the rules by rote. If you change the context, I have no idea how to apply what I've learned. If my neurotypical bestie isn't there, I'll be kind of lost in that event because I have no one to copy. I'll play along as best I can, but it might come off as a little odd. And this is often why small girls and women are missed, because we come off as a little odd for a neurotypical rather than being an outright problem. You'll see this in a lot of social interactions where things are a little off. So you might be in a highly neurotypical setting and go to shake hands with someone, but this is a hugging environment. But you didn't know that. Because the last time you saw this person, you shook their hand, but suddenly we're hugging? Like, I know there's hugging thing, and I know there's handshaking thing. Which event is which is a forever moving, weird, strange, undefinable bar. It changes day to day, situation to situation, person to person. It's all one big, strange mess. This is also why a lot of normal kiddos love maths and computers. Computers don't change. Math doesn't change. No matter the time of day, the setting, the country, the culture, the language. Maths and computers, same input, always get you the same output every time. So yeah, girls and women, if you don't learn how to cosplay as a neurotypical, you are socially punished by becoming an outcast. If you do learn how to cosplay as a neurotypical, you're punished by being left to fend for yourself in a very neurotypical world. Hopefully diagnostics will catch up with us eventually, and they'll learn to spot the other half of the population that often need to self-destruct under the pressure of adulthood before they notice we're struggling.